What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man. Yes, I'm back at it again, and I know I'm super late, man. But I've been sick, and I'm just now getting back in the swing of things, and I'm trying to pump out everything in an orderly fashion, man. So give me a little time to get back on my routine. But this is Dr. Stone, episode 15, dude, and it was boss, man. There wasn't too much going on. This was a very informative episode. We got introduced to 3 new characters, along with 2 characters that we've seen previously in episodes, but they really haven't made any kind of statements or anything. We just saw them and we knew that they're working behind the scenes and they weren't really trustworthy. And that is Dr. Giovanni and hold on, I got his name down right here somewhere. And Victor Lick. Okay, now we know for a fact that Victor was working with Joker, and I'm thinking that Victor and Joker, they're working with probably maybe the Empire or something to, I don't know how I want to say it. Maybe like they're not. I know they're not working with the people in the white, the evangelists. They're not working with them, but I feel like they're working with the Empire on their own to maybe still kind of keep everything like the normal flow of things, maybe, or take over from a different perspective. They're not working with them, but they're kind of bumping heads, and they both are working behind the scenes to kind of disrupt the fire force. And then we have Dr. Giovanni, and he's working with Hijima, which Victor Lick is also working with Hijima. So they may be working together to kind of steer this thing their own type of way, if you get what I'm saying, where I'm coming from. They're not working with the evangelists, but they're working against the evangelists and against the fire force themselves. They don't care about the people. They just care about whatever they're doing in the power source or something. That's what I'm getting. That's the vibe I'm getting from these characters. I know they're not working with the evangelists, but they don't have humanity's best interests at heart either. So then we see this episode starts right off, and we see Arrow, and we find out her and the Yona character, they work directly under Show, and Show looks pretty boss in that scene when he pulls out his sword and everything. So I'm super excited to see Show in action, maybe in a couple episodes later, and really see how strong he really is. So we see him telling them that, okay, that's fine. They tell him that there's another person connected to the Adola Burst. And I really kind of want to read the manga to find out what the Adola Burst is, because it's being mentioned a lot. In even this episode, we saw the Adola Burst kind of connect with Shinra again when Dr. Giovanni had hostile intent against Vulcan. So I'm super excited to see where they're going with that, and I kind of want to know more about the Adola Burst. But Show looks powerful, man, and I kind of want to see how powerful he is. But this episode was very informative, and then we have Victor Lick inserting himself in Company 8 because, let him tell it, Hijima and the higher ups won't someone scientific on Company 8's squad, and we all know that they're interjecting themselves because Company 8 is getting very close to the ones clad in white, aka the robes, aka the evangelists, and they kind of want to keep a leash on Company 8, and they kind of want to know what the evangelists are doing. And I feel like Victor Lick is working for like the Empire and like the Hajima company. I don't think he's working with the evangelists, but they want to keep in contact. They want to know what's going on with the evangelists. Or I could be wrong. Hajima could be working with the evangelists, which would make Victor and Dr. Giovanni working with the evangelists, and they could be all working together. That's the thing. It's so, but I feel like that may be the actual route. Hajima, Victor Lick, Dr. Giovanni, they may all be working together with the evangelists to just corrupt the whole system. That could be true, dude. That's crazy. Okay, so then we get introduced to Victor Lick, and we know we can't trust him because we saw him working with Joker in previous episodes, so we know he's crooked. So then we have Obi telling Shinra because Victor brought up the idea of them not having an engineer, and Obi tells Shinra, Arthur, and the sister to go check out this character named Vulcan, and he's an engineer around Shinra's age, and he's great. He's fantastic. He's a good engineer. So he wants him to check him out and see if they can work with him on their squad. So we get there, we get introduced to Vulcan. So, and I love Fire Force, like, because it was getting really serious, but they brought back the comedy this episode right in the middle and right towards the ending. with the sister pressing a bunch of buttons, and Vulcan kept attacking Arthur and Shinra with the cans and throwing it at him and everything. So then we get introduced to Vulcan, and he seems like a cool character. I think Vulcan may be my new favorite character. So then we get introduced to Vulcan, Yu, and Lisa. And they seem like a nice, cool bunch. But now I'm going to speculate here, because during this episode, to me, when Dr. Giovanni appeared after Shinra was trying to convince Vulcan to join the company, did anybody else feel like Lisa was not trustworthy? That may just be me. I mean, it felt like she has ulterior motives. Like maybe she's working against Vulcan, and could she be working with Dr. Giovanni? Could he have placed her there, like as a spy or something? I don't know, man. I'm speculating. I'm jumping to conclusions. Okay. But we get introduced to these characters, and they seem like nice characters. And we have you telling us a little bit about Vulcan and everything that happened. And then we get Lisa telling us how Dr. Giovanni has been trying to shut him down, and you even told us that and everything. And that's so messed up, man, because then we get into another thing where you and Lisa both start to tell us more stuff about Vulcan, and that Dr. Giovanni was an apprentice of his grandfather along with Vulcan's father, and all of a sudden Vulcan's father and grandfather both turned to infernals like that. And we know that's where the bugs come in. That's when the bugs come in. And I'm thinking that Dr. Giovanni may have been working with the Hajima company, aka the Evangelist, as well back then when he was an apprentice. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, this episode got so deep into like theory territory, if you ask me. So then we have, and another thing that I wanted to talk about that stuck out to me was that, like, there were no animals, like, because the sister was so surprised. It's like, well, I read about the animal with the long snout in a picture book. So, like, there's no animals in the city right there. So, and I never really thought about it until this episode, and that's weird. But it was nice, but it's weird. And they mentioned that, and Vulcan is fascinated with animals, and he even showed them an invention he made with his father and grandfather that can take animals, and showed them pictures and everything. It was a nice very episode. And then at the end, after we learned everything about Vulcan and Dr. Giovanni and his father and everything, Shinra comes in contact with the Adola burst again. And this time it's not like it was with I can't remember his name, Kone. I want to say Kone, from the Seventh Company reaching out for help. It was hostile intent from Dr. Giovanni. And Arthur was like, "You ready to go?" And he was like, Shinra was like, "No, we're not going anywhere, man." So this episode was boss, and it was very much informative. And I speculated a lot because I feel like that's a lot that's going on. And I feel like that's the way the story could be more intertwined and deeper, man. I feel like Lisa is crooked. She's working with Dr. Giovanni. I feel like Dr. Giovanni is working with Hajima, and we know Victor Lick is working with Hajima and Joker. So I feel like all of these people are working with the Evangelist in the end. That's just my theory, man. I'm speculating, but that's what I got. This is your boy Dick Incredible, man. Don't forget to smash that like button until you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them. And subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatness, and anime is life, man. Peace out.